What is the difference between the highly qualified professional visa versus the work visa?
This is why also this residence permit is so good, because
Can, for example, an engineer or a nurse work in the same field here? Are there job placement agencies in Spain for overseas workers? Is that a thing?
good question, and this is one of the most important questions that our highly qualified workers worry about.
So what happens after? Does the worker have to go back home to their previous residence? Hi guys, it's Bea with Everything is Boffo, and today we will be talking about work visas that are available here in Spain. We are joined today by Aliyah, the Consulting Director for ProSpain Consulting. Aliyah, hi, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me here today.
Would you like to do a short introduction about ProSpain Consulting?
Sure. Thank you, Bea. So yes, I'm the representative of ProSpain Consulting. We are a legal firm based here in Spain. We are on the market for more than 10 years already. And we do all range of legal advising and services, starting from migration up to legal advising, property purchase, and accounting services, and so on. We have an international team of lawyers and accountants and consultants. And yeah, today we're talking about working visa, I assume. And regarding me at ProSpain Consulting, I'm with the company for about 6 years already. Me and my team, we do the first consultations for our clients. So in case if you will contact us, me or my team, we will be the first persons you will know here.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that, Aliyah. Okay, so let's talk about the highly qualified skilled worker visa. Can you tell us what that is, and afterwards, what are the requirements?
Sure. Yes, we call it highly qualified professionals visa, which allows you to work here in Spain. That's, on my opinion, very good solutions for those who want to come to Spain and do the professional activity to start working here. That's the residence permit that we can issue up to for 3 years, the initial one. And you can also relocate here with your family members. And the family members will also have the work permit in Spain, which is great. So the conditions and the requirements are, first of all, the applicant needs to have a job offer from Spanish company. So first the job offer, and then we can only apply for this residence permit. And how you can guess from the name of this residence is highly qualified professionals visa, which requires to prove that you have enough skills and education level and so on to be able to apply for it. So the major requirements are university degree in this business area or 3 years of experience. And this we need to prove the 3 years of experience with the previous contracts or the letters from the companies and so on. The job offer, as we already mentioned, the requirements about the job offer, one of the most important requirement is a salary. So there is a requirement for minimum annual salary is at least 41,000 euros for the workers and more than 55,000 euros for the managers. Then non-criminal record, of course, like for any type of residence permit in Spain. What else? There are some requirements for the company that makes an offer for you, which is not having any outstanding debts at the Social Security and Tax Agency. Also, we request the CV of our worker to see the whole profile, including the background, education, all the skills and everything. So yes, basically those are the major requirements. And if we complete the requirements, then yes, we can apply for this residence permit. And yes, if the applicant is relocating with the family, we also need the documents for the family members, like birth certificates of the kids, marriage certificates, and non-criminal record certificates for all the applicants who is over 18 years old. The great thing about this residence permit that revising time is quite fast. So in 20 working days, we already get the resolution. And we can submit application in 2 different ways. First, and of course, the preferred one is to submit application here in Spain. But for this, the applicant needs to come here as a tourist, for example. And once he's here as a tourist, we can submit application, and then you don't even need to leave the country because we will finish the whole process here. Yes. For those who has difficulties to come to Spain as a tourist, for example, their country requires the Schengen visa and so on, then we can also submit application at the Spanish consulate in their country. And once the visa is approved, they will just come here with a national visa and submit fingerprints to be able to get the residence card.
And the company has to be a Spanish company that's hiring them, correct?
Yes, correct. The company has to be Spanish company that gives the offer. There are no specific requirements, like, I don't know, for the economical situation of the company and so on. But most importantly, yes, not to have outstanding debts, social security and taxes. Also, in our experience, how we did help people to move to Spain with highly qualified professionals residence permit is when we relocated like the entire companies to Spain. For example, or our client wanted to open a business here and hire some people, or they wanted to relocate some workers, or there was a team of workers wanted to relocate to Spain. Then the first step, we opened the Spanish company for them, like the local legal entity. And then to this newly opened company, we relocated people as highly qualified professionals, which is also a possible scenario.
So that's great. So you can work for both the company transferring and the person transferring.
Yes, exactly. In our experience, there were different cases, or relocating the whole business, the whole company with workers, or for example, an individual could come to us and if they get this offer from the Spanish company, and we help to relocate him or her.
In your experience, which jobs have been approved for the highly qualified professional visa?
Well, of course, we relocated like a lot of people related to technologies, IT, everything related to tech. Yes, that's their profile, obviously, but not only them. It could be any, like, let's say, top manager of the company, somebody moving here as a manager. Most importantly, we need to prove their skills, we need to prove their background, enough education level, and that exactly this person will hold this position. Also, one good and one important thing, and this is like one of the most frequently asked questions when we talk about this residence permit that I receive. Would my employer need to prove to the government that there are no people with like similar skills or so that could hold this job position, and this is why they need to bring me? And the answer is no. This is why also this residence permit is so good, because the national unemployment situation is not applicable for this residence permit, which means that we do not need to prove to the government that the employer could not find anybody here on the market that will hold this position.
Wow, that's actually very good, because even in the US, the same thing. You have to, if you want to sponsor someone for a work visa, you have to place an ad on newspapers and make sure, and then you have to, interview all of those applicants and then prove that your applicant is the one that can answer all of the questions and fill in the role, right? So, yeah. So they don't need to do that.
For highly qualified professionals visa, no. If we talk about normal work permit in Spain that we need to submit application at the Spanish consulate, then yes, we need to pass all this way. And also we can only apply for the very short list of the professions that are demanded by the Ministry of Labor in Spain. But the opposite situation with highly qualified professionals. We just need to prove that this person is, like, let's say this candidate is perfect matching for this company and this position, and that's it.
You talked about this briefly, that if a family moves and one person has the highly qualified professional visa, that the rest of the family members can work here, and I guess I'm assuming the children can attend the public schools here.
Right, right. Yes. When we move to Spain with this HQP visa, the main applicant has the job offer from Spanish company and will be working for this company. So let's say if he or she is moving with the family, then the spouse will have the work permit in Spain, and actually, the spouse will be able to work as autónoma, which means a self-employed person, or as a worker for the company as an employee. So they have like both types of work permission. And the kids, yes, they are allowed to attend public or private schools or wherever. And also, because the HQP visa holder is coming here to work here, which means that the social security will be paid by the employer of this worker. The whole family and the worker are able to use the social security, the public health insurance.
So the spouse of the highly qualified professional can work anywhere, basically, not just for that. They're not tied to that company as well, correct? Like that, they can work in the mall, in another company, all of that, right?
So let's say the conditions are a little bit different for the main applicant and for the family member for the spouse. The main applicant, who is our HQP visa holder, who has the job offer from Spanish company, is supposed to stick to this company, to keep working for this company. But the spouse of the main applicant is able to work in whatever business area, whatever company in Spain, or open autonomo. They are completely free to choose. The whole market is open for them.
Wow, that's very good. So we always get asked this question. Can, for example, an engineer or a nurse work in the same field here? Can they come here on that highly qualified professional visa?
Very good question, Bea, because those are the regulated professions in Spain, So for that, you cannot just come and work here with the education that you get in, I don't know, in any other country. Because then in this case, you need to through the procedure of homologation of your university degree, pass the language test, the language exam, and you need to prove that your Spanish level is at least B2 for most of those professions. So it's going to be like a longer way for them, obviously. For nurses, architects, engineers, lawyers, who else?
Doctors.
Doctors, yes, all those regulated professions. So yeah, probably they need to firstly do something else, like to come to Spain, maybe with another type of residence permit while they will be in the process of homologation, or if they can take any other job activity and apply for this visa. But meanwhile, learning Spanish and homologating the university degree, because this will take time.
A lot of time, in my
A lot.
experience.
I know, yes. And only after that, they will be able to work here in that business area.
Sounds great. Thank you for that. That's actually very, like, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. We also get asked this a lot, and sometimes they think that we are one of them, but we are not. They are there job placement agencies in Spain for overseas workers? Is that a thing?
To be honest, I do not even know what to answer here.
Yeah, I don't think so. I've never really seen a legit one. I don't think it's a thing, right? Like,
Well, to be honest, I do not even know what resource people need to. I know that people find a job here with LinkedIn, like proper sources for people searching for the job from overseas. I am not sure.
right, like a placement agency that tells you this hotel is opening up and they need 20 waiters, and
Normally, I think this type of jobs, they need to search exactly in this company, like, yes, on the hotel page or wherever. To be honest, I don't know, Bea, even what to answer here.
Okay. All right. I'm also curious too because they ask me like, what are the jobs, and I'm like, I don't know. That's not my.
Yeah, what I know that yes, lots of people get a job here, and for example, also we use LinkedIn to hire people. There are probably some, I don't know, website Indeed or something like that. It's called, yes, but like something big, platform that will like a marketplace of the jobs for the people from outside. No.
And then Aliyah, you said that this visa is valid for 3 years. So what happens after? Does the worker have to go back home to their, previous residence?
Well, good question. And it always depends on the situation of the worker. If the worker keeps working for this company, then it's possible to renew this residence permit. And once the residence permit is renewed, it will depend on the length of the contract, of course. If the contract is indefinite, then we can renew this residence permit for another 2 years. And once the worker will complete 3 years initially, then another 2 years. Once we complete 5 years in Spain, we can apply for the permanent residency, which is most of the times is a goal.
That's what happens, yes, normally. And also, so this is also a path to, because it's a path to permanent residency, it's also a path to citizenship, correct?
Right, yes. In regular way, and for most of the cases, we can apply for the citizenship after 10 years of living in Spain here, of legal permanent living in Spain. Yes, but there are some cases where this period could be shorter, like up to 2 years, for example, for the citizens of Philippines, Latin America, yes, and some other countries, but mostly it's 10 years.
So, in the event that this worker is already in Spain and has the 3-year visa, but somewhere within that they lost their job, either for whatever reason, what happens to that worker?
Good question, and this is one of the most important questions that our highly qualified workers worry about, because you're kind of stick to your employer, right?
Yes.
So yes, there are a couple of different ways how to change your situation. Let's say, first of all, if you complete at least 1 year of living and working with this residence permit, then after 1 year you can switch, you can modify your highly qualified professionals visa to there will be different ways, like to work visa, the regular one, or to self-employed work visa, or even to non-lucrative visa. So there will be options. But in this case, yes, you need to work for the company at least for 1 year and live here. If happens something that you're thinking about changing your job during the first year, there will be also different options. In lots of the cases, I don't know, let's say the person moved here, started to work, but then realized that wants to change something. If they find another job, again, as a highly qualified professional, then it's possible to apply for the new HQP visa with the new employer. Here in Spain, you don't need to go back to your country, we do it here. So our advice is always, of course, try maybe to stay at least 1 year at this job position with this company. And then after the first year, there will be much more opportunities and doors opened for this professional.
To be able to stay in Spain.
Yeah, right. To be able to stay in Spain, to change the residence permit type, even to work for another companies, that person will not be stick to the company.
And then you mentioned regular work visa. What is the difference between the highly qualified professional visa versus the work visa, like a regular work visa?
Okay. Yes, there is a big difference. First of all, with the HQP visa, we are like, let's say we're stick to our employer with whom we get this visa. This is the probably first and major difference, because with the, like, let's say regular work permit, you're not depending on one particular employer. You can change the jobs, you can change business area, you can go to any type of job. As a highly qualified professional, you cannot go, let's say, and be, I don't know, a waiter at the restaurant or a driver or somebody like this type of jobs. When with the regular work visa, you can do any type of job, any type of activity. This is the first thing. The second thing is how to get this visa, because this probably will be next question. Because as an initial work permit, highly qualified professionals visa is a little bit easier to get because the national employment situation is not applicable for this residence permit. When the initial work permit is very hard to get because, first of all, we can only submit application at the Spanish consulate. Second of all, yes, the national unemployment situation is applicable for this. So there is only a list of professions that could apply for this job. And also we need to prove that there is no candidate here in Spain for this position. But at the same time, the regular work visa as an initial residence permit is harder to get, it's harder to apply for because first of all, the application has to be submitted at Spanish consulate, and also the national employment situation is applicable in this case, and there is only a list of professions that we can apply for due to Ministry of Labor, and we also need to prove that we could not find a proper professional here in Spain to do this job. But the good news is that after 1 year of living as HQP visa holder, you can switch to this regular, let's say, work permit visa, where you will not depend on your employer anymore and you can choose any job. But yes, for this, you need to work and live here at least for 1 year.
I see. So the highly qualified professional can change into a regular work visa after a year, but will he still need to adhere to that list of jobs that that Spain or the government of Spain listed down?
No, that's the big difference, because we only need to stick to this rule when we want to apply for this work permit initially. This is why it's hard to get it. But once we're already a resident of Spain, let's say being on HQP visa or digital nomad visa or non-lucrative visa, after 1 year, we can switch to this work permit. That's the big difference.
So this has been very informative even for me. Thank you so much, Aliyah, for joining us today and sharing your knowledge about the highly qualified professional visa. How can they contact you if they have more questions?
Well, first of all, thank you, Bea, for having me here today. It's such a pleasure to talk to you, and yeah, it was useful and interesting. Yes, feel free to contact us. We are prospeinconsulting.com, also in Instagram and YouTube. You can find us also with the same name, or just text us or call us on our phone number that will leave here, and we will be happy to offer first initial consultation for free.
Good. All right, thank you so much, Aliyah.
Thank you.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the notification bell. Shout out to our subscribers for always being awesome. Thanks to the people who support our channel by subscribing, commenting, giving us super thanks, and tipping us with our Buy Us a Coffee link. If you want to pick our brains and book a 60-minute consultation, we have a link for that, and we can give our honest opinions about topics that we haven't covered in our videos.
Thanks to the people in our Facebook group for being awesome members, for generously helping each other.